There are 11 sweepers in Blinx, but only 5 of them are actually useful. The TS1000, the TS4000, the 2 elemental TS2000 Flame and Freeze, and the TS16000. The rest are not worth purchasing at all. Before I go through why you shouldn't use these sweepers, let's go through the 5 sweepers and why you should use them. First, we have the TS1000. The starting sweeper for all new game files. It's your stock standard sweeper that can't sweep up level 2 or 3 trash, and you can't suck up any environmental pieces. But this is because this is the default sweeper. It gets a pass, plus it's incredibly cheap. Literally one Dustkeeper later and you can purchase one if you wanted to. Next is the TS4000. This sweeper is one of the most bang for your buck options. This upgrades your ability to sweep up level 2 trash, which means all trash in the game except for 16 ton weights can be sweeped. The Flame and the Freeze sweepers have the same stats as the TS4000 and costing 1000 more gold, but they both have some useful quirks. The Flame can suck up fire in Forge of Hours, and the Freeze can suck up water in Deja Vu Canals. The fire sweeping isn't as useful because it's easy to grab cat medals without using it. The freeze is however needed in Deja Vu Canals if you're trying to get all the cat medals. A casual player will not be able to grab these medals without using the freeze sweeper. There is speedrunning tech to fall through the floor, but it's a bit tricky and hard to do if you don't have full diagonal movement. Both the Flame and the Freeze have the great passive of dealing with Combustor Swords and Water Spirits in 2 shots. If you're going to purchase the Flame Sweeper, you want to buy it just before 4-2 and keep it all the way until Forge of Hours 8-1 to get maximum value. There's no use buying the Freeze Sweeper in World 6 for the Combustor Swords because by the time you buy it, there's one Combustor Sword in 6-2 and then the next time that you see one is in 8-1. So you're better off waiting until 8-1 to go back to the World 6 shop and then purchase the Freeze Sweeper there because of the 5 Combustor Swords in Forge of Hours. This is basically option B sweeper routing for speedrunning in Blinx. Overall, the Flame Sweeper isn't technically as useful as the Freeze generally, but that doesn't take away the greatness of it. And finally, the TS16000. It can sweep up every piece of trash and also has fast sweeping speeds for level 1 and 2 trash. This bad boy is so damn good in speedrunning. While there is time loss for dealing with most Combustor Swords and Water Spirits, its increased sweeping speed and ability to use 16 ton weights outruns the time loss from those enemies. It sadly loses value in Forge of Hours with no 16 ton weights at any level, and also the 5 total Combustor Swords, but switching to the Freeze Sweeper and Forge is the best thing you can do anyway. Alright, we've explained the good, now let's explain the bad. We'll start off with the TS2000 Aladdin. This is a special sweeper you can purchase in Hourglass Caves. It's 3000 gold for a level 1 sweeper. Don't let that plus sign fool you, which means it costs the same as an elemental sweeper but can't sweep up level 2 trash. The Aladdin sweep speed is actually tied for the fastest in the game, for level 1 trash only though. Catherine actually points out the speed of the sweeper when you're in the shop. It can also sweep up sand, which is these little pile-ups in Hourglass Caves. There are 11 total sand piles in Hourglass Caves. Now, I know what you're thinking. You'd think that there would be something really cool or useful when you sweep up these sand piles. Nope. You either get 2 random gold pieces, 2 random time crystals, or 2 bombs. And whatever rumors you may have heard, no, there is no cat medals in any of these piles. And you paid how much for this thing? The only positive thing that I can say about the Aladdin is that it's the best level 1 sweeper. That's it. Let's move on to the next contender. Now, here's a funny little thing. I never actually specifically said which TS4000, because there are 4 different ones. Now, ladies and gentlemen at home, I've got a question for you. Which one of these sweepers is the best one? They're all the same. They're all the same. Even the sweeping color on all of them is the same. Why are there 4 of these? But ladies and gentlemen, there technically is one TS4000 sweeper that's better than the rest, and that's the Star Sweeper. Purely because it's available in the first shop. It also just looks really nice. I like the coloring on it. Okay, for this sweeper, I actually hate to say this because I really like this sweeper. But the 16000S, we gotta mark it down. Because like the previous sweepers, it's just the same as the regular TS16000. There is no difference in ability compared to the original, which really sucks because imagine if you had like ice properties or something like that. It can only be bought in the Everwinter shop, and I love the coloring on this sweeper. This is probably my favorite sweeper in terms of design. It just looks so pretty. But sadly, it gets outshined because the regular 16000 is available in Forgotten City. And finally, the last sweeper in the list that's not worth buying. It's the X7 Supreme. Now, let me just clear some things up first. If you're running Blinx individual level speedruns regularly, you should definitely get this sweeper, because it's a combination of all sweepers. The Aladdin sweeping speeds, the freeze and flames elemental damage, being able to sweep up all trash, and being able to suck up all environmental objects. But it's just not worth the 90,000 gold. Do you know how much 90,000 gold is in Blinx? Well, let me put this in comparison. Without any gold glitches, if you went through the game being gold efficient, getting as much gold as you could, bringing back all the expensive trash and completing the game, you wouldn't even get near 30,000 gold. It's literally a flex if you have this sweeper. Even with gold glitches, the current strat to collect 90,000 gold takes a full hour. And you can't even get this sweeper until you get to the final boss in the game, and so it's kinda useless in casual regular Blinx gameplay. You also need the full 80 cat medals for it to even unlock in the final boss shop, so good luck forking over extra money just for those sweepers to grab the medals. In short, very good IL sweeper, very bad sweeper for completing the game. So in short, if you're playing through Blinx, just buy these sweepers, don't worry about these ones. And if you buy the Jaguar, you're definitely on an FBI list or some shit.